What's up, everybody? How are you all doing? Happy Monday to everybody. I hope all is well with you guys. I hope you had a good weekend and you had a great Sunday. And what did y'all do? What did y'all do this weekend? Did y'all shop? Did y'all had a pre-spring cleanup day? Because we're on the latter season of winter, and it is soon to be spring. So have you guys started decorating your home, your house, putting up the spring decor, the flowers and all of the good stuff? Or actually, are you getting ready for Easter? Easter is coming up in April. So, they already have all of the stuff out there at the stores already. So I know some of you probably have done your early shopping, or you probably have stuff from previous, have stuff from last year or whatever that you're going to use up again. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Trying to save the pennies, right? Trying to save the pennies. But yeah, what did you guys do this weekend? I hope you had a good one. Hope it was a festive, or if not, it was a quiet one, or it was a crazy one, right? A busy one. Either way, you made it, and now we're here, right? So happy Monday to you all. I'm your girl, Twonta Davis-Jones. My girl, Leticia Campbell, should be coming. But other than that, we are just going to go ahead and get right down to the nitty gritty. Of course, this is our Sister to Sister Connection live show, and we come on weekly, and we come with you with with some heart to heart content. And also, we do our best to share with you some positive, content that could be very inspiring and motivational, to really help you guys to move forward in your destiny, move forward into your life or your careers or what have you, wherever you are right now in your life. But we've been doing this for quite some time, and we do have our sister to sister connection um, group page, Facebook page. And as you can see, that's the link there that you are welcome to click on to be a part of our community, right? So let's go ahead and get started with the topic for tonight. Our topic for tonight is da 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 da. You have the right to be here. Yes, you have the right to be here. Now, why did I came up with this topic? Because I believe that there are some of us sisters out here that are really dealing with why they're here, because, you probably been having some heated discussions or disagreements or arguments, and in terms of, when it comes to your family or when it comes to colleagues. And, people can say some cruel things. People can say some weird standoffish stuff. And sometimes it puts you in that kind of position just to try to question yourself as to, do I really belong here? Um, maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I should not stay here no more because I don't feel wanted. I don't feel respected. I don't feel valued. Or I'm just tired of, the ugly looks. I'm tired of whatever, right? But you have the right to be wherever you are. You are meant to be exactly where you are, right? And so we're going to just talk briefly on that. I have a few points that I wanted to point out, share with you tonight, that we can discuss very quickly, and hopefully this will be a blessing to some of you, if not all of you. I know it may not get everybody's attention, but I know there may be somebody that might be having that conversation in their head, or they may have dealt with that kind of conversation with someone that may said some things to them to make them second guess their position, and where they are, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in business, career wise, you know, um, or whether it's, but maybe in their church or what have you, A lot of times, people always wonder, why are they here? Because they're dealing with so much in their life They're dealing with so much pressure, so much drama, so much, you name it, family drama, you name it. And sometimes, again, those thoughts have, come resurfacing in your mind, and, make you think about, maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I should relocate. Maybe I should move. Maybe I should leave, the family. Maybe I should, start someplace else or what have you. But I believe that, if you've been doing well with what you have or where you are, and there's nobody else that's really making any complaints, why would you consider leaving? You know what I'm saying? If someone has been telling you you've been doing a great job, or they're very impressed with what you produce or what you have performed or whatever, but yes, you have somebody on the other side that just got to continue to in your ear. And it starts to become a little bit more dominant. They become a little more loud, you know, but versus somebody saying to you, hey, girl, you are great. You're doing phenomenal, so forth and so on. Why would you allow that person that's making all that noise to tell you that you don't belong? You know what I'm saying? Um, and so I think that we need to expound on that a little bit more, and to help you to start seeing yourself, where you're supposed to be, which is where you are right now. So let's move on to our first point. Let's talk about our first point tonight, okay? So your presence is just as valuable as the furniture in the room. Now, when I put that down, I was thinking about like a conference room. And I wish Leticia was here, because she works on the business side of it. So I know that she may have had her moments of being in conference rooms, or conference meetings in a room particularly. But just as important it is to have the chairs and the conference table or whatever, it's just as important for you to be there as well. You are that valuable, you are that important, right? And you should not dare consider yourself less than. Your presence is just as valuable, just as important, just as powerful as anybody else in that room. Sometimes we belittle our own self because of the haters, because of the attacks. Some of you probably are in that season of attacks where you're getting these little snide remarks, or these little, smart comments or statements from people for no apparent reason. And you like, what the deuce? What did I ever do to you? First of all, you don't even say nothing to me. Now all of a sudden you coming out of the clear blue and saying something totally out of order, you know, right? And now you're dealing with that issue, right? And when it's time to, come together to have a meeting or to sit together or whatever, you just feel so out of place. You feel like you don't belong. You feel like that, you know, people are looking at you, or just don't feel comfortable with your presence there, right? And I've been there before myself. I've been there, but I'll be honest with you, I think it was more me than them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm totally opposite from people. I'm very introverted, and I don't really feel comfortable being around people that's always in their own little clique world. But I'm there. Now if I was invited, that's different. Somebody invited me to participate or to be a part of something, that's different. I will come more likely. Now the person who have beef with it, that's on them. But I still sense that they don't want my presence. They don't, you know what I'm saying? And so that might be the case with you, where somebody has invited you to church, or somebody invited you to an event or whatever, and you are amongst her friends or what have you, and you probably know a few of them because you met them before. And now that you're there to hang with them a little longer, you starting to sense that they really don't want to be around you, right? Or you feel kind of odd or what have you. And somebody may say something sarcastic, somebody may say something in a very demeaning way, but they trying to be really jokish with it. You know what I mean? They play it off like, girl, I'm just playing, girl. I'm glad you're here. you know, but but just like that lab child, it's just so evil, so wicked. So but yeah, and you just feel so out of place. No, your presence is just as important, just as valuable, because that person, that other person invited you to be a part of it. You know, and if she didn't invite you out of vain, or she invited you because she really do care for you as a sister friend and all of that, you don't need to second guess your position being in that group or being amongst the people, right? Always stand bold and strong with, who you are, because people sure love to see you break down, and they could talk about you even more, right? You stand bold in your truth. You stand bold in the identity of who you are and who you are becoming, right? Don't let anybody shame you or degrade you or make you feel small, because they are, they acting foolish, and they just, being really spiteful. But when you feel like you're not supposed to be there, or you feel as though the people in that circle, acting kind of standoffish, don't let that bother you. If anything, you need to bring it back to their face. You be like, ooh, oh, oh, and they looking at you like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You doing it? So, girl, what's going on? Girl, is something wrong with you? Bring it back at them. Shoot, I know they won't do it again, right? play their own game. Smack them back with their own game if you have to, right? Do it professionally. Don't be all, rude and ghetto-ish, but at the end of the day, you just don't allow anybody to make you feel like you don't belong in that place or in that space. You have every right to be there, right? And while you are there, if it's, if is a conversation where everyone pretty much chimes in, and someone asks for your opinion or your suggestions or your thoughts on the topic or whatever's being talked about, don't shy away from it. Speak on it, honey. If you have something to say, right? And if you definitely say something that is totally opposite of what they're saying, but what you saying is a valid point, go and say it. Okay, whatever. Right, just say what you need to say, and of course they probably will have a debate and all of that or whatever, but no, you just don't, you know just be there as body form and just don't say anything because you feel intimidated or threatened. No, you go ahead and just speak what needs to be spoken, and get comfortable where you are. Get comfortable in that seat. Get comfortable in that space. Get comfortable in that room. If God placed you there for a reason, you don't need to, sit there like and looking like a lamp. No, you go ahead and be that lamp. You go ahead and let your light shine, and let God's light shine through you, in other words, and be aggressive, not in a negative way, but just go ahead and be what you're supposed to be. Do what you need to do, right? And put those people, let them people be quiet, right? Because there's a lot of that going on. Believe it or not, there's a lot of that going on where women don't feel valued, or they feel intimidated. They feel like they don't belong in the room because there's a lot of people who are really spiteful. People say stuff, people whisper, blase, blase, blase. That's all child's play. You are a unique woman. You are a powerful woman. You have a whole lot to offer, to that community, or to that job, or to that organization, or whatever. You don't let anybody dummy you down to tell you that you're not important, that you're not special, that you're not that what you got to say is not valid or whatever. No, don't even let that Don't even let that, flip you around like that. Okay. So you stand, you walk in that room, you walk in that space, and you walk in like you own it. You walk in like you own it. Okay. Like you own the office, you own the chairs and the furniture. You walk in there. Okay. And wish somebody would say something. Okay. This wish somebody would say something to you. You waiting for somebody to say something. But you walking in with confidence. You walking in with boldness. You walking in with, you know, with the knowledge, knowing that yeah, I have every right to be here. Okay, right. So let's move on to point two. So point two, you matter, and so does your voice. As I just mentioned, your voice God gave to you. Your voice is what needs to be heard because God has instilled within you a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, and what you put forth, it can change somebody's life. It could change someone's opinion. It can change the whole dynamics in that room or in that space. Never dummy down to what people are saying about you or at you or what have you, to the point that it limits your speech. It limits you from really say what you need to say, regardless of how it affects that person or how it makes that person feel. Because you matter. You matter. Your whole identity matters. Everything about you matters. As I said, you are a valuable person, and you need to know that and recognize that. God sees you valuable, right? He sees you valuable. He sees you important. He sees you special, and what he has supplied in you is powerful. What he has supplied in you can change the trajectory of so many people's lives, including your own. So don't let anybody tell you no, or try to shut you up, or, try to diminish you from speaking what you need to say. Okay. Whether that's professional or whether it's personal. That's one thing, you get that all the time in the professional setting, at a corporate setting or whatever. But it's another when it comes to your personal life, when it comes to family. Because even family members sometimes don't want to hear their own, they don't want to hear their own family members, whether it's their parent or sibling or cousin or whatever, because they know that their cousin or that relative always come bold with truth, and they always speak their mind or what have you. And sometimes they just don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear it or whatnot. But depending on that situation or that conversation, you have every right to, input your thoughts. Okay. They input your thoughts and your suggestions, your ideas, your feelings, your emotions, whatever. Okay. You have every right. Don't let anybody, tell you don't be quiet. You got nothing valuable to say. You ain't that important. Yes, I am important. That don't make me conceited or arrogant, but I know I am important. You the one that's intimidated by my power. Hello. Which you shouldn't be, because God gave you the same amount of power that he gave me. But unfortunately, you don't know how to use it. I do. So, and you speaking your truth right there, boo. You are speaking your truth, sugar. Okay. You are letting people know that you're not going to tell me to be quiet. First, I'm a grown woman. Second of all, I have every right to speak what I have to say from my heart. Okay. So I'm not going to dare, be quiet because you having your moment, or, you just totally, just being nasty or whatever, no, I'm going to say what I got to say, and that's the end of it, and once I say what I got to say, I'm done with it after that, because I'm not going to play tit for tat. I'm not going to do that, because whatever God leads me to speak on, I will speak it. If I don't have anything to say, no, I'm not going to just waste my time saying anything just to be babbling, right? But if it is something of value, something of importance, something that, may make a change, a positive change, or then yeah, I will definitely have something to say because I matter and it matters. And I believe that it's going to be a help to whatever's currently going on, whether it's in my family or whether it's in business or whatever. Okay. There's a lot of sisters out here that are not actually using their voice the way they should because they have been told that their voice isn't valuable. Their voice is not important. That they're not intelligent enough to speak. That they're ignorant. This, that, or whatever. And that's all verbal abuse. Verbal, mental. It's just a very destructive spirit. But you have to, overrule that and open up and start speaking your truth because you are a powerful human being, you're a powerful woman, and you have something to talk about, something to share, um to those individuals as well, right? So again, you matter. So don't shut yourself down. Don't hide. Don't, even if you are in the room, don't go in the corner somewhere and just say, I'm just gonna you just be quiet over here because or whatever. No, no, no. If it's something meant for you to say, you gonna go ahead and speak your truth. Even if somebody say, "Girl, I ain't got time for that." Well, you can leave, but I'm still gonna say what I gotta say. And if they leave, that's fine. That's on them. But you say what you need to say, right? All right, let's go to our last point for the night. Our last point for the night, y'all. Your presence holds weight. So what you do with that weight, you crush your haters with that. Come on. Yes, sir. Your presence holds weight. Your presence is so powerful. It's so heavy. And I don't mean heavy in a bad way. Girl, you're just a strong powerhouse. You really, really are. And I think we as women, we have been, oh my God, we have been put in the back burner for such a long time that we totally have lost sight of who we are. And the only person that can truly tell us who we are is God because he created us. Every now and then I always say, Lord, show me through your eyes. Show me through your eyes. And he does that. He reveals me from his perspective. Because if I keep looking at myself from my lens, girl, please, I have a whole lot of negative things to say about myself. But God, on the other end, he sees perfection. Because what God created is perfect, is perfected, right? So you got to look at yourself as a beautiful, perfected being. You are flawless, you are gorgeous, you are dominant, you are smart, you are powerful, right? And you got to start training yourself to, saying these things about who you are. That's not being conceited, that's not being arrogant, that's not being prissy. You are you know what's the word, you are reintroducing yourself, if that makes sense, to this new you, to this new you. You starting to take notice that there is an inner you that is so ready to come out. And that inner you is like your alter ego almost. Pretty much like it, right? But that alter ego, that new you, in other words, is so strong, is powerful. She don't take no mess. She know who she is. She knows what she's about. She knows what she has to offer. She knows she is impacted with a whole lot of sense, whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot of wisdom, because God has poured that in her. And she has a whole lot to give to those who are willing to listen and learn. Okay? So, you take that power of what you have that God has poured into you, and you go ahead and crush those haters because you're gonna have haters everywhere you go. It's you might as well just go ahead and get used to that. But you don't have to get intimidated by it anymore. Okay, you don't have to get intimidated by their threats. You don't have to get intimidated or be intimidated by their nonsense or anything like that, because they intimidated by you. That's just how the devil is. The devil, he's afraid of us because we have power. He don't. Okay. Now God will tell him he can do certain things that he's allowed to do, but that's as far as it's gonna go. You'll remember Job, right? In the Bible, right? The devil and God had a conversation about good old Job. And the devil told God, like, man, you take all that stuff, he gonna cuss you out. Speaking in street term. God's like, okay, we shall see. You could go ahead and, take away his wealth, take away his family. You can cause him to get sick, but don't take his life. Devil like, bet. And you see what happened with that, right? Right? So yeah, the devil go ahead and, he's allowed, well, God allows him to go ahead and do certain things to you, or to your health, or to your finances, or whatever the case may be. But you got to know who you are in Christ. You got to know who you are as a woman of value. You got to know who you are as a woman of strength, as a woman of resilience, as a woman of compassion, as a woman of wealth. And wealth doesn't always mean money. You're wealthy all across the board. You're rich. That's not always necessarily talking about the dollars. You can have good health. You got a good career, your family well, all of that, and you have some money. So you're doing very, very well. You're a wealthy, powerful, anointed woman. That's a lot of weight. And you need to go ahead and use that weight and crush the haters, right? And I tell you, if you do that, the haters are going to respect you more. Come on with it. Right? The haters going to be like, they're going to be shaking your hand. The same people that had a whole lot to say about you, against you, will be the same people that's going to come humble down and shaking your hand. It's like, I really want to understand, how did you get this far? They are so curious. They're so curious. Curious, y'all, but curious. Okay. They're so curious. So yes, your presence hold a lot of weight. Okay. It holds a lot of weight, a lot of power. So don't dummy down on that. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. To let those haters know, that I still win, and that I'm going to make it to the other side. Right? I may be a little bit behind, but that's okay. But that's the perfect time, because now you can re-strategize. God will give you some ideas or whatever, and give you a minute just to take a little breather, do a woo-saw moment, do a Whitney Gilbert relax, relax moment. That's one of my favorite things, right? And then you be ready to come back full force, baby. You ready to go ahead and knock some devils out, you know what I'm saying? And make it happen, right? Because your presence is that powerful. When you walk into the room, people notice you, and you ain't even say a word yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you took ownership of that space. You took ownership of that whole room, right? And you ain't say hello yet or nothing, but people took notice of you, right? And that's what you need to start standing on, knowing that there's something about you that is very special, that's very valuable. And you're full of wisdom, you're full of knowledge, because God has taught you and educated you, and you learned through your trials and errors of life. You have dealt with so many different situations in your life, and so you got a lot to say. And here's the other thing that just came to my mind. Not only do you have a voice verbal, but you have a voice when it comes to your gifts, when it comes to your skills. That speaks volume too. If you are a writer, that definitely speaks a lot of volume. Okay. So don't let haters, slow you down from achieving your goals or achieving the dreams that you've been having for a while. Because you're going to have people that's going to be jealous. You're going to have people that's going to be so envious. This it's just you're going it just comes with the territory. Every time you move forward to the next elevation of your career, of your life, you're going to deal with haters. You're gonna deal with smart Alex. You're gonna deal with people that just gotta be mean and just downright nasty. But don't let that crush you. Don't let that intimidate you. Don't let that stop you, from doing what you are called to do. Right? Because there's somebody on the other side that definitely is waiting for your voice, is waiting to hear what you have to say. They're waiting to see what you got to show, right? If you've been to an art gallery and you see all these different type of arts, not just canvas artwork, but you see art in all different forms and different shapes and styles, and you see people walking in the gallery and stuff, and they get so drawn into some certain type of art, and people are so into it, and you looking at that art and you like, what is that about? But that person or persons that's looking at it, they're drawn to it, and they tell you they can hear what that art is saying, right? Or they can read it, basically, even though there may not be no words, but they can understand what the artist was saying. So there's voice to that, right? So not only is you're not talking about your voice vocally, but what you put out there, your gifts, your skills, your talents. Don't allow the enemy to block you or stop you or paralyze you from speaking from your heart, from speaking what you do, what you see. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense on that, because again, people, people crazy out here. People just say all kinds of stuff just to really derail people's dreams, right? But you don't let that stop you. Again, your presence, your gifts, your talent, your skills holds a lot of weight. So you use it to your advantage to defeat the haters. Yeah, let's do that, okay? So you have the right to be here. You were meant to be here, okay? And trust God all the way, no matter what, because He placed you here. He placed you here. That is the thing you got to understand too, y'all, that God placed us here for a purpose and a reason. And you are not going to let anything or anybody, including yourself, from not standing, where you deserve to be. Okay? You don't let anything or anybody tell you that you don't belong. You do belong, because God placed you here. Now, if they got beef with that, then tell them you need to talk to God about it. I guarantee they shut up in a second, okay? Because they can't do none. They can't do none. Okay, they can't do none, baby. But you good. You good. So that's it, y'all. That's what I want to talk to y'all about. Okay, we do have our what's news. And I wanted to show that very quickly to you guys. Our What's News is a segment where we introduce some great things that people all over the United States of America are doing, whether they're young, old, or what have you. And so I wanted to share with you something I came across. Actually, I found it on Facebook the other day. And yeah, I saw that on Facebook. And what this is, let me find it real quick. Hold on. And I can read it to you very quickly. This is a grocery store. And it's at the Atlanta Public School. And this is a free grocery store that was launched at Atlanta Public Schools for the students and their families, um, for those who are dealing with financial hardship. And again, this is a free grocery store. So they're saying, according to Atlanta News, first, the Good R grocery store, which is located at the Atlanta School Public School Food Supply to I'm sorry, Student and Family Support Hub, providing essential food supplies to students experiencing housing instability or other challenges affecting their academic performance, right? So this store will assist up to 200 families monthly, offering a variety of nutritious food options, and it's open 4 hours daily on weekdays. And the initiative ensures reliable food access for APS, which is Atlanta Public Schools families. And Good R founder and CEO, which is Jasmine Crow Houston. And I have that. You could go ahead and click on that one, Therese. And she's on Instagram, by the way. Jasmine Crow Houston highlighted that the store is available to all um, APS students and families, reinforcing the importance of community driven food assistance programs in fighting child hunger. Okay, so this is again, this is a place in Atlanta, Georgia. And I thought this was absolutely a beautiful, beautiful um, movement here. And this young, beautiful woman here by the name of Jasmine Crow Houston, she is the founder and CEO. And since then, I don't know how long that was posted on Facebook, but since then they have opened another location in the Atlanta area, another food grocery store that is accessible for families that have low income, that has low income. And so the families can come, students can come, families can come and shop there, excuse me, for free, for free. That is absolutely amazing. I thought that was just the most beautiful thing ever. And this woman is just absolutely a powerhouse altogether. You know, she is a entrepreneur, she's an author, she's a speaker, she's a mom, a wife, and again, a founder and CEO of At Good RC, I think, yeah, CO. So you guys can check her on Instagram to find out more information about her, or learn more information about her and about the different projects or collaborations that she's part of or what have you, and how she is still continue to help the community, right? To help the community, for those families who are not able to go to the grocery store. Even if they are going to the grocery store, the grocery store, some of their produces are not fresh. You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up at the time, my mom was on welfare at the time, and me and her would walk down the street from our apartment, and there was this grocery store. And I could tell you right now, that grocery store was not that great looking. And the meat was very sparse, and my mom was just not pleased. You had to really pick to find which looked fresh. And it was just horrible, absolutely horrible. So I can imagine, and that still exists today, but thank God for this phenomenal idea where this grocery store is available on a daily basis, for families to go and grab whatever they need, and know that they feel good to know that the food that they prepare for their family is healthy and it's not going to cause any physical harm to them, right? Because you got to be careful what you buy nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And so just to know that they can go to the store, grab fresh fruits and vegetables, and also get some fresh meat, hamburger meat, steak, or whatever their needs are. They know that the food is fresh, and and it's healthy, and that they know that their family is going to have a good meal. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. So again, you guys could go ahead and read about her a little bit more. And also, on that page, on her Facebook, I mean, not her Facebook, on her Instagram page, you can click on that good at good RCO, and on that, because that's also an Instagram. That's the yeah, you click on that and you can see a little bit more of that world that she's part of, that she has posted some pictures in here as well, and other establishments that she has collaborated with and whatnot. So yeah, guys, this is absolutely great. I'm so excited. If you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and if you did not know anything about this, definitely go check this out. Again, this isn't right in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know exactly the street, but I'm pretty sure it won't be hard to find because she is on these social media platforms. You should be able to find the information you need as far as the nearest grocery store. Any Atlantic school, public schools, they more likely will have that information, that you definitely can go and check out the grocery store if you are in that area, or maybe you have a friend or relative that lives in the Atlanta area. And if they are not aware, you can let them know about it, and so they can check it out themselves, right? So that's why we do what we do with What's News. This is all for you guys to pass this on to your news feed on your social media platforms, and also share it with people that you know personally that may live in these areas or locations, and just to support, and also let you know that people are still doing some good things for the community. And the way how things are right now with this DEI and all this stuff with Target and all other stuff like that, now more than ever is the perfect opportunity to really, really, really support our Black businesses. Amen. Now is the time more than ever to really start supporting our Black businesses and to really get the word out there for people to know what our community, what our people are doing within the community, right? So that's pretty much it, guys. That concludes our What's News tonight. Sorry that Leticia was not with us tonight, so I hope all is well with her. Um, Okay, so, but anyway, guys, I hope you all have a good night, and hopefully next week we'll be back together with a great content, a topic, and all those great things. But again, guys, you have every right to be where you are right now. Do not let anybody tell you that you don't belong. You belong where you are, and use the power that's within you, and that is your voice, because you matter, right? All right, guys, have a good night. Let's see you soon. Bye, y'all.